Good evening from a spectacular FIFA World Cup 2026 night in Los Angeles, where football fever has completely taken over the city. More than 70,000 passionate supporters have packed every corner of this magnificent stadium, creating a sea of red and white that can probably be seen from space. The temperature is a comfortable 24 degrees Celsius, 75 degrees Fahrenheit, with only a gentle breeze. Perfect conditions for 90 minutes of world-class football. Tonight, it's a fascinating round of 32 showdown between Spain, the reigning European champions, and a fearless Austria side determined to write another chapter in their underdog story. One team arrives carrying enormous expectations, while the other arrives carrying absolutely nothing to lose, and sometimes, that's the most dangerous weapon in football. Spain have been one of the tournament's most entertaining teams so far, but they've dominated possession, completed more passes than anyone else, and continued to prove that keeping the ball is still one of football's greatest superpowers. Their young sensation Lamine Yamal has been dazzling defenders with fearless dribbling, while midfield maestros Pedri and Rodri have been conducting games like orchestra directors who simply refuse to play a wrong note. Austria, however, haven't traveled all this way just to admire Spain's passing accuracy. Under Ralph Hasenhüttl, they've become one of the hardest working teams in the competition. Expect relentless pressing, fearless tackling, lightning fast counterattacks, and enough running to make fitness watches file a complaint. Here's a fun statistic before kickoff. Spain have enjoyed nearly 65% average possession during the tournament, meaning their opponents have spent so much time chasing the ball that some defenders may actually qualify for marathon medals by the end of the World Cup. Another interesting number, Spain have yet to concede many clear-cut opportunities, while Austria have built their success on resilience, organization, and a goalkeeper who has already frustrated several world-class forwards. Tonight he'll need another unforgettable performance if Austria hope to survive. Keep an eye on several fascinating individual battles. Can Lamine Yamal's electric pace overwhelm Austria's experienced backline? Can David Alaba marshal his defense against Spain's endless waves of attacks? And will Mikel Oyarzabal continue his outstanding international scoring form on the biggest stage of them all? Everything is ready. The floodlights are shining. The crowd is roaring. The national anthems have echoed around the stadium. Millions of fans around the world are watching. One team will continue its journey toward World Cup glory. The other will be heading home. Fasten your seatbelts, football fans. This promises to be 90 minutes of dramas, passion, breathtaking skill, and perhaps just a little bit of beautiful chaos. The referee checks both captains, looks at the watch. The whistle is about to blow. The first minute. The referee gets us underway, and Spain wastes absolutely no time reminding everyone why they're the reigning European champions. Alex Baena immediately threads a gorgeous pass into the path of Lamine Yamal, who bursts forward like someone accidentally hit the fast forward button. The teenager glides past the first challenge, charges into the penalty area, and unleashes the first effort of the afternoon. Alexander Schlager reacts brilliantly, spreading himself to block the shot. What a statement inside the opening 60 seconds. Spain are knocking on the door before Austria have even found the welcome mat. The fourth minute. Spain continues circulating possession with confidence, moving Austria from side to side until defenders are beginning to feel like participants in an exhausting fitness drill. An interesting statistic flashes across the screens. Spain haven't lost to another European nation in more than 3 years. That unbeaten streak isn't just a number, it radiates through every confident pass and every aggressive press. The 7th minute. Every time Lamine Yamal touches the ball, thousands of supporters rise from their seats in anticipation. Kevin Danso already knows he's in for a very long evening. The young winger twists, turns, and accelerates with fearless intent. Remarkably, Spain have won every major tournament match Yamal has started. Superstitious, maybe. Effective, absolutely. The 8th minute. Spain come flooding forward again. Pedro Porro whips a wicked cross into the danger zone. Dani Olmo meets it sweetly, but fate has other ideas as the strike cannons into Mikel Oyarzabal instead of the back of the net. Austria survive another scare, although survival currently seems to be their primary game plan. The 11th minute, huge appeals for a penalty. Yamal darts inside the box and tangles with Konrad Laimer before tumbling dramatically onto the turf. Every Spanish arm shoots into the air. The referee simply waves play on us. Replays confirm the official made the right decision, but judging by the crowd's reaction, you'd think someone had just canceled Christmas. The 14th minute, a reminder appears that the winners will face either Portugal or Croatia in the round of 16. Spain look determined to book that ticket as quickly as possible, while Austria know they must somehow weather this early red storm before thinking about tomorrow's headlines. The 16th minute, Austria finally enjoy a spell of possession. Calm, measured passing begins to slow Spain's relentless rhythm. Ralf Rangnick's side refused to panic, patiently knocking the ball around while searching for an opening. It's not spectacular, but after the opening barrage, simply breathing feels like progress. The 18th minute. Here comes Austria. Marcel Sabitzer spots space down the left and delivers a teasing cross toward Michael Gregoric at the far post. It's an inviting delivery, but the striker misses making contact by the smallest of margins. Spain breathe a sigh of relief. That was Austria's first genuine warning. The 21st minute. The statistics underline Spain's dominance. 4 shots already, 1 on target. While Austria are still waiting to register an attempt, the Spanish midfield is dictating every tempo change, with Pedri and Rodri conducting the orchestra as if they've rehearsed this performance 1,000 times. The 24th minute. Play pauses for the scheduled hydration break. Players gather around the touchline while coaches deliver quick tactical instructions. Spain are comfortably in control despite the score remaining level. Austria, meanwhile, will gladly accept this brief timeout. It probably feels like finding an oasis in the middle of a football desert. The Opta predictor now heavily favors Spain, but football has a habit of laughing at probabilities. Austria know that all it takes is one counterattack, one set piece, or one defensive lapse to change the entire story. The 27th minute. We're back underway, and Spain instantly resume their relentless assault. The tempo rises again as every white shirt pushes higher up the pitch. Austria are retreating deeper and deeper, defending with incredible discipline but spending precious little time outside their own half. The 29th minute. The ball is in the net. But wait, Spain think they've finally broken through. A corner is only partially cleared before Marc Cucurella smashes the loose ball high into the roof of the net. The stadium erupts. Spanish players sprint away in celebration. But hold everything? The referee immediately signals no goal, believing Pau Cubarsí committed a foul on goalkeeper Alexander Schlager during the scramble. VAR steps in for a lengthy review. Tens of thousands hold their breath. After several anxious moments, the decision stands. No goal. Spanish fans can't believe it. Austria celebrate as though they've scored themselves. That is a massive escape. And the match remains deadlocked. The 31st minute. Spain refused to let the disappointment linger. Instead of arguing, they immediately crank the pressure up another level. Every pass is sharper, every movement more aggressive. Austria can sense another wave building, and this one looks even bigger than the last. The 33rd minute. What a save. Mikel Oyarzabal dances beautifully across the edge of the penalty area, skipping between defenders with remarkable balance before drilling a low strike toward the bottom corner. It looks destined for the net. Alexander Schlager has other ideas. The Austrian goalkeeper stretches every inch of his body, producing a magnificent fingertip save to push the ball beyond the post. That's world-class goalkeeping under enormous pressure. Spain are getting closer. The 35th minute. Yamal is suddenly released down the right, and the Austrian defense panics like someone just dropped a spider in the dressing room. He lifts the ball over Schlager and onto the roof of the net, but the flag goes up for offside, lucky for him, because that miss was about to receive its own documentary. The 36th minute. Goal for Spain. This time, there is no whistle, no VAR drama, no escape route for Austria. Pedri drives bravely through midfield, slips the ball left to Cucurella, and the fullback delivers a perfect low center across goal. Oyarzabal arrives with striker's instinct, sweeping it home from close range. Spain lead 1-0, and honestly, it has been coming like a weather forecast everyone believed. The European champions finally break the wall, and Austria now have to do something much harder than survive. They have to attack. The 38th minute. That goal adds another line to Oyarzabal's superb international form. His movement was intelligent, calm, and ruthless. He waited for Alaba to drift half a step away, found the pocket, and punished Austria instantly. That is not luck. That is elite timing with a Spanish passport. The 40th minute. Yamal tries to get in on the act, cutting inside and shooting from around 20 yards. This time the effort is tame, and Schlager gathers comfortably. Austria are wobbling, though Spain smell blood, and when Spain smell blood, they usually bring cutlery. The 43rd minute, Austria try to respond after Sabitzer pounces on a mistake from Kubarsi. The ball works its way toward Posch inside the box, but he takes too long. Rodri steps in with perfect authority, calmly stealing the ball as if confiscating homework from a noisy student. The 45th minute, 4 minutes of stoppage time are added. Austria just want the halftime whistle. Spain want one more punch before the break. The 45th minute, Baena wins a free kick around 25 yards from goal. This is dangerous territory. The crowd rises. The Austrian wall lines up nervously. Schlager shouts instructions like a man organizing furniture during an earthquake. The 45th minute, incredible moment. Baena curls a beautiful right-footed free kick over the wall. It beats Schlager, bends toward goal, and smashes against the woodwork. Austria failed to clear properly. The ball drops to Yamal at the back post, surely 2-0. No, Schlager somehow recovers and produces a brilliant save from close range. Austria survive by the width of a post and the reflexes of a goalkeeper who clearly refuses to go quietly. The 45th minute, halftime. Spain going 1-0 ahead after a dominant first half. They created 11 shots, 6 on target, and an XG of 1.34. Austria managed only 2 shots and none on target. The scoreline says close. The match itself says Spain have been knocking, kicking, and politely filing complaints at Austria's door. The 46th minute. Austria make changes at the break. Grilic replaces Xaver Schlager, and Chukwuemeka comes on for Sewell. Rangnick clearly wants more energy, more running, and preferably a way to get out of Spain's midfield washing machine. The 46th minute. The second half begins. Austria need courage, pace, and cleaner passing. Spain need patience, and one more goal to stop this match turning into one of those nervous knockout nights where logic packs its bags and chaos checks in. The 49th minute. Spain win a free kick on the right after Lamer brings down Porro. Yamal stands over it, eyes fixed on the penalty area. Austria pack the box, fully aware that every Spanish set piece currently feels like a tax audit. The 50th minute, Yamal plays it short, then dances across the edge of the area, skipping past challenges before eventually fouling Sabitzer. The move ends, but the message is clear. The teenager is warming into the match, and Austria's defenders are starting to look like they need user manuals. The 50th minute, Oyarzabal gets Spain's first attempt of the second half. Striking from 20 yards, this one is straight at Schlager, who saves comfortably. Still, Spain are back in rhythm, and the pressure machine is humming again. The 53rd minute, Spain are on course for something historically impressive, a 4th straight clean sheet at this World Cup. Austria still have no shot on target, and Unai Simon has mostly been enjoying a very expensive front row seat. The 54th minute, Rodri finds space around 25 yards out and decides to try his luck. The shot takes a slight deflection and flies just past the left post. It is another warning, another Spanish knock, another Austrian prayer successfully processed. The 57th minute, Austria show a little intent. Sabitzer drives forward and finds Lamer down the left. The Bayern midfielder pulls the ball back toward Gregoritsch, but Unai Simon reads it well and intercepts. That is excellent goalkeeping concentration from a man who has had so little to do, he might have been tempted to check his messages. The 59th minute, a stunning stat for Yamal. 29 dribbles at this World Cup already. Only Kylian Mbappe in 2018 and Jamal Musiala in 2022 have produced more as teenagers in a single tournament since 1966. Austria are not just facing a winger, they are facing a future highlight reel in real time. The 60th minute, Austria make a double change. Kalajdzic replaces Schmid, while Arnautovic replaces Gregoritsch. Rangnick is rolling the dice. Austria need height, experience, chaos. Maybe all three delivered expressing. The 61st minute. Oegerd, that was the chance. Seconds after entering the pitch, Sasa Kalajdzic nearly changes the entire story. Sabitzer whips in a magnificent cross from the left, finding the towering striker completely free inside the 6-yard box. He rises. The header flies over the crossbar. The Austrian bench cannot believe it. Kalajdzic cannot believe it. For one brief moment, Spain's defense had switched off, and Austria almost stole an equalizer completely against the run of play. That miss could prove enormously expensive. The 63rd minute. Spain breathe again after that scare. Kalajdzic did everything right except the most important part, keeping the header down. In knockout football, opportunities like that don't come with a refund policy. The 60th minute. Goal for Spain. The pressure finally breaks Austria. Cucurella wins possession brilliantly before feeding Alex Baena racing down the left. Baena reaches the byline, lifts his head, and delivers the perfect cutback. Charging into the penalty area comes Pedro Porro. The right back launches himself forward and powers a superb header beyond the helpless Schlager. 2-0. Listen to that stadium erupt. Pedro Porro scores his very first international goal, and Spain are now one giant step closer to the round of 16. The European champions have turned complete control into a commanding advantage. The 60th minute, Baena records his first assist of the tournament, while Cucurella deserves enormous credit once again. Everything positive for Spain seems to be flowing through the left-hand side. Austria simply cannot stop the endless waves of red shirts pouring forward. The 68th minute, play pauses for another hydration break. The timing could hardly be better for Spain. They gather around Luis de la Fuente looking relaxed, smiling, and full of confidence. Austria, meanwhile, have 6 or 7 minutes plus stoppage time to somehow rescue a match that is slipping away faster than ice cream in California sunshine. The 71st minute, Spain make 2 substitutions. Alex Baena receives warm applause as Ferran Torres replaces him after an outstanding performance full of energy, creativity, and now an assist. Moments later, Dani Olmo also leaves the field, with Mikel Merino entering to strengthen the midfield. Fresh legs, fresh quality. Exactly the sort of luxury every coach dreams about in a World Cup knockout match. The 73rd minute, a remarkable statistic appears on the big screen. Spain have now scored at least 2 goals in a World Cup knockout match for the first time since defeating Switzerland 3-0 back in 1994. 32 years. An entire generation has waited to see Spain attack like this again in the knockout rounds. And today they are finally delivering the performance supporters have been craving. The 76th minute, Austria are becoming increasingly frustrated. Late tackles begin appearing. Free kicks are conceded in dangerous areas. The defensive discipline that kept them alive for so long is beginning to crack under constant pressure. Chasing shadows for more than 70 minutes will eventually make even the calmest defenders lose patience. The 78th minute, Spain earn another corner. Yamal curls a beautiful delivery toward Ferran Torres at the far post. The striker climbs well, but heads comfortably wide. He'll know he should have at least tested Schlager with that opportunity. The 79th minute, Austria finally produce another dangerous attack. Lovely, passing around the edge of the Spanish area, pulls defenders out of position before Arnautovic cleverly flicks the ball into the path of Chukwuemeka. He shoots first time, just wide. That was probably Austria's best flowing move of the entire evening. But once again, the finish lets them down. Spain remain firmly in control. The 82nd minute, Spain continues searching for what coaches often call the perfect goal. Cucurella drills another dangerous low cross into the penalty area. Torres cleverly lays it off first time toward Pedri, whose run is perfectly timed. At the very last second, an Austrian defender throws himself across to block the pass. Outstanding defending. Otherwise, Spain were seconds away from producing another masterpiece. The 83rd minute, the first yellow card of the match. Stefan Posch arrives late on Cucurella near the halfway line and catches the Spanish fullback. The referee immediately reaches into his pocket. Yellow card. An interesting piece of trivia follows. It is the 200th yellow card shown during the entire 2026 FIFA World Cup. Not exactly the record Posch was hoping to be remembered for. The 85th minute, off the line. Yamal simply refuses to stop entertaining. The ball falls kindly inside the penalty area, and the Barcelona superstar reacts instantly, firing a snapshot toward goal. Schlager is beaten. The crowd begins celebrating. But David Alaba races back and clears the ball dramatically off the goal line. What unbelievable defending from the Austrian captain. That goal-saving clearance keeps Austria alive, even if only mathematically. The 85th minute, both teams make changes for Spain. Yamal receives a standing ovation as Gavi replaces him after another electric performance full of dribbles, creativity, and constant danger. Austria also introduce Alexander Prass in place of Stefan Posch as Rangnick searches desperately for fresh energy during the closing stages. The 88th minute, Spain are already beginning to picture the round of 16, but nobody in red is taking their foot off the accelerator. Every player continues pressing, chasing loose balls, and demanding possession. Austria have defended courageously, but tonight has felt like trying to stop an express train with a garden fence. The 89th minute, go. Spain put the ribbon on a magnificent performance. Marc Cucurella, who has been sensational all evening, surges down the left once again. He spots Mikel Oyarzabal drifting into space and delivers another perfectly weighted low pass into the penalty area. Oyarzabal arrives exactly where great strikers always seem to appear. One touch, right foot finish, bottom right corner. No chance for Schlagers. 3-0 Spain. Cue the celebrations inside Los Angeles Stadium. Cucurella records his second assist of the evening, while Oyarzabal grabs his second goal. If Spain were writing the perfect knockout performance, this chapter would definitely stay in the final draft. The 89th minute. What a tournament Mikel Oyarzabal is having. That strike makes it 17 international goals in his last 16 appearances for Spain. Talk about being in form. Every touch inside the penalty area suddenly feels dangerous. And tonight he has shown exactly why Luis de la Fuente continues putting his trust in the Real Sociedad striker. The 90th minute. 6 minutes of additional time are announced. Austria look exhausted. Spain look like they could happily play another 90. The European champions continue to move the ball with confidence, drawing appreciative applause from every corner of the stadium. The 90th minute. Spain make their final substitutions. Pedri receives a deserved ovation as Fabian Ruiz comes on to help close out the match. Moments later, Aymeric Laporte also departs after another commanding defensive display, replaced by Marc Cucurella. Fresh legs, fresh applause, mission almost accomplished. The 90th minute. Austria continues searching for a consolation goal that simply refuses to arrive. Every attack is met by composed Spanish defending, patient positioning, and intelligent anticipation. Unai Simon remains largely untroubled, completing one of his quietest but most professional evenings in a Spain shirt. The 90th minute. Spain are now simply enjoying themselves. Short passes, quick triangles, confident movement. The crowd responds with every completed sequence, appreciating not only the result but also the style. This has been football played with intelligence, rhythm, and complete authority. The 90th minute. The Austrian supporters continue singing despite the scoreline, applauding the effort from their players until the very end. Their team never stopped working, but tonight they met an opponent operating at an exceptionally high level. The 90th minute. The final whistle sounds. Spain are through to the round of 16 with a superb 3-0 victory over Austria. From the opening whistle until the closing seconds, La Roja controlled the rhythm, dominated possession, created chance after chance, and produced one of their most complete performances of the tournament. Mikel Oyarzabal was the headline act with 2 brilliantly taken goals. Pedro Porro celebrated his first international goal. Marc Cucurella delivered a masterclass from left back with 2 assists, relentless energy, and outstanding defensive work. Lamine Yamal dazzled once again, tormenting defenders all evening with fearless dribbling and endless creativity. The statistics perfectly reflect Spain's dominance. 23 shots to 5, 10 shots on target to 0, 284 XG to 0, 32, 65% possession, 9 corners without reply. Austria battled bravely, and Alexander Schlager produced several outstanding saves that prevented an even heavier defeat. But Spain simply had too much quality across every area of the pitch. The reigning European champions have finally announced themselves at the 2026 FIFA World Cup. If this performance is any indication of what's to come, the rest of the tournament has every reason to be nervous. What a performance from Spain. A dominant display from the first whistle to the last as they secure a convincing 3-0 victory over Austria and book their place in the round of 16. Mikel Oyarzabal starred with a brilliant brace. Pedro Porro scored his first international goal, and Marc Cucurella delivered a sensational performance with 2 assists. Austria fought bravely until the final whistle, but Spain's quality, creativity, and relentless pressure proved simply too much. Thank you so much for watching and being part of this incredible FIFA World Cup 2026 journey with us. If you enjoyed this live match commentary, please give the video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss our next full match commentary, highlights, and World Cup action. Until next time, take care, enjoy the beautiful game, and we'll see you in the next match.